collaborate with people that are like-minded. There are so many people out there that just want to accomplish something, big.
Yeah.
And they want to collaborate and they want to see other people succeed. Invite those people to the room, and even if it's 2, 3, 5 people, start somewhere and collaborate and talk to people that can help you reach your goals, because doing it alone isn't as much fun.
No. All right, welcome back.
Welcome.
Awesome. I'm glad to be here. It's been a week or so.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long time, and now we get to chat again. I think we have some really fun things to update people on.
Definitely. I am excited to talk about the event you put on Friday. Man, I didn't know what to expect. You sent out an email, did a Facebook post. I was thinking there was going to be a few people there, but man, you packed the place. I think we had 20 at the top, but I'll bet you there's 23 or 24 that came through there. Some showed up early, some had to leave or whatever else, but it's a pretty good event.
Oh, it was really fun. I think the max number that came through total was 25.
That's awesome.
For the day, and but I don't think we had any less than 20, 21
at a time
at any given time. And
yeah, and a great lunch and a nice breakfast. You put it on. That was awesome, and the venue was great too. BBSI, shout out to them letting us use their conference room. That was awesome, and great people, great knowledge, great discussion. But I'd love to talk about it just a little bit, just because I think not only to let people know that we'll probably do another one sometime soon, or whatever, but also just everything that we learned.
Yeah.
So let's jump into that.
Absolutely, and it was fun to have as many people as we had in the room. We had bankers, we had title companies, we had
real estate agents,
commercial real estate
agents.
Investors. Man, they just had the gambit. People that have invested in mobile homes, to houses, to commercial properties, industrial, you name it. And who else? Insurance agents.
Yeah, insurance.
So we had a wide breadth of who is it that helps take care of, an investment and make sure that we're doing a good job.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of different knowledge, different perspectives, and we analyzed quite a few deals and looked into some different creative ways of being able to do it. And so what do you think sticks out from a content perspective that was wow, this was awesome? I
think the very beginning, just learning about everybody was awesome. And then I think it was Eric, or maybe it was you, that said, what is it you want to accomplish in the next 5-10 years? And then what was the acronym that you used? One of them, somebody used an acronym.
There's the BHAG.
The BHAG.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say what that is.
So the BHAG is a big, hairy, audacious goal.
Awesome. And then there was one more.
Bryson
acronym.
shared the screw you number.
There you go. That's what it was. That's what it was. A number where, whatever you end up, achieving goals wise, or passive income, or cash in the bank, or equity, or whatever that ends up being for you. Where what is that number? I think too many times we get into business and we're always looking to the next month and maybe the first quarter or the next quarter, but we don't have that goal of 5 and 10 years down the road. Where do we want to be? Where are we going to take this business that we just started? Where are we going to take this thought or this idea that we're jumping into? I think it's really important to put that stuff down.
Yeah, and I think writing it down. I think I've said on another episode is that a dream or a goal not written down is but a wish.
Yeah.
And one of the things we did early on in that session, the mastermind session, was, okay, we're going to take 60 seconds and you're going to write down your big, hairy, audacious goal, your BHAG, or your screw you number, or what it is that you want to accomplish in the next 1, 3, 5 years. And then we were thinking about that through the day of okay, how does this align with my goals? Would this be something that I would be interested in that could get me to that big number?
Yeah.
Or that cash flow, that steady income stream. And that's what I loved about it, is that we had people that were in there thinking about, hey, you know what? This is a strategy that could complement me, my personal lifestyle, my business approach, etc. That it's I could do this.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we had some great input from Chris, who works for, what's his last name? Bald-headed guy with the beard.
Chris Bertinoli.
Yeah, Bertinoli. Great knowledge. Nick Terry had some great knowledge. Eric Velasquez, great knowledge. And then your business partner, who did a little presentation, what's his name? Who partnered with you on that subject too?
Oh, Bryce Belknap.
Yeah, Bryce Belknap, great knowledge there. Man, I just think there's so many people that were throwing out ideas and throwing out, some different thoughts that made me write down some notes. I mean, I love going to those things because my creative juices just start flowing. And even though I've written down some numbers, I redid some of mine. That I'd even written down a couple months ago. One of them I expanded a little bit, and one of them I changed just a little bit. So yeah, it's always good to get together and mastermind with other people.
Yeah, it is. Well, and it also says like, hey, this is that guy's bar. Why can't I accomplish the same thing? Or like, hey, let's compare notes. Or, if you're going to try and get there, can we help each other get to that point? And, I had somebody post on one of my Facebook posts, like, how is it that you find a mentor? Well, you find somebody that's like-minded. It doesn't mean that they are decades or light years ahead
or
of you.
Or a billionaire.
Yeah, it just means that they have obtained just a little bit more knowledge in a certain subject matter, and you find them, and then you collaborate to where you can say, hey, you know what? Why can't we just do this together? Or, coach me so that I can do it well based on what you've already gained in knowledge, right? A smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others.
Definitely. I went to an Eric Worre, if anybody knows who Eric Worre is, down in Vegas about a week and a half ago. And one of the things he talked about with entrepreneurs, that number, whatever that number is when you're going to check out. And he goes, and then he's like, really, does anybody really just check out? He goes, how long can you actually stay on a beach? he goes, my mind goes, I sit on a beach for about an hour and I start thinking about how I could make money on that beach, how they could more organize the beach, how they could do this, how they could do that. He goes, so your checkout number could be, I don't have to go crazy hustle anymore. I've got enough cash flow, I got enough, whatever's going on to pay me every month to cover what I need to cover. But are we ever really going to truly retire, or whatever that looks like for most people? Because people all retire means I'm going to sit and watch TV all day. I'm going to sit on a beach all day. He's like, you're going to get tired of that beach, and how much TV can you really watch? And I'm like, you know what? That's me. I mean, I think whenever I get to the point of where I've got all the passive income, not all that I need, because I don't know if you'll ever get to that point, but get to a point where you just have everything covered, things paid off. Man, I'm excited for that part, but I'm also excited for how much it's going to free me up to where I can either go out and help other people, mentor other people, and still go out and make deals happen and still be an entrepreneur till the day I die, probably. That's just in my blood.
It's funny you mentioned the beach and like what you'd be thinking about. One of my goals is that I'd like to retire for 3 to 6 months, maybe even, a year or two to Costa Rica.
There you go.
I haven't ever been there before. I know that I want to go there, but I've researched the economy and what goes on there, and my goal would be to go and find that beach or find that place close to a little town. And then I'd like to do microloans to small businesses.
Oh, there you go.
Of maybe $500 to $1,000, or maybe it's $10,000 for the right business.
Yeah.
And just help kickstart these different little business minds and and ideas, and get involved in a business community. Improve my Spanish. I speak Portuguese, and that's one of my goals. I would like to spend that time in a little village somewhere where I can help increase the entrepreneurial spirit and say, hey, you know what? We can accomplish something cool here. Let's put $500 to work, and let's do some trinkets. Maybe we put a little advertisement together, and we go hand out flyers to the beach cabanas around, whatever.
No, I love that idea. That's a great idea. I mean, that's retiring, but still doing what you love.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I hate that thing. Find what you do. Find out what you love. Figure out how to make money, and you'll never work another day in your life. I mean, I get that. I get that. But there's still so much out there of things you can do to serve and to help. And I think that's where my retirement, if you want to call it that, is it's going to be going out and just helping other people, and being a mentor for that person that's looking for a mentor, or help that small business out, or be a small venture capitalist of some kind. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like, but I'm excited to get there, and I am hustling like crazy right now just to create more passive income, invest in more businesses, invest in myself more, help other people along the way, because I think if you stop doing that, at least for me, I think part of me would die. Mm-hmm. So, but let's shift gears. I want to get into more of that mastermind on some of the things we talked about. Okay. There was a deal that we talked about in there, a couple deals. There was some other great ideas about what's going on in the economy and how to capitalize on that. What's going on with Bonneville County, what's going on with the city of Idaho Falls was some great stuff. So let's touch on some of that.
Yeah, so we talked about one deal in particular was like 1.6 acres. It has 28 units that are approved to go on the lot. The contractor is in a distressed situation and they need to dump the real estate. So that was an interesting deal.
It was. And it was interesting, everybody's perspective on that.
Yeah, it was. Like everyone contributed from a different perspective. Like, hey, you know what? If we take this vertical, like, at what point did they stop in the construction process? You know, are there Gantt charts put together as to like what phase they're in, and can we pick up where they left off? You know, is the contractor, the dirt work contractor, able to finish out what they were already doing? They're the ones that have distressed the property because they haven't been paid.
Yeah.
And they're calling the note due. And so it lined up, and then it was like, okay, well, what is the cost of construction? And if I'm the builder, then do I take that vertical, or do I leave it to somebody else? Do I hire a builder, or do the numbers even make sense at, you know, $30,000 per unit if there's 28 units, which, I mean, you're talking $800,000, you were $500,000 per acre.
Yeah.
So it has to really pencil in order to make a deal like that work and make it so that it can actually cash flow. And then we talked about cap rates. And,
yeah.
You know, how do you make sure that a cap rate works? And over a decade, you know, what does the cap rate have to be in year 3 to 10, and the time value of money, and how you lose, you know, the first 2 years by, you know, waiting until that project's done. And
yeah.
Fascinating conversation.
It really was. And that's what I love about masterminds. If anybody's read anything from Napoleon Hill, he's a great mentor of mine. I read everything he has ever written. And one of the things he talks about in a mastermind, it's where you take one person and what they can accomplish, one person what they can accomplish with the knowledge they have. If you take 2 or more and collaborate in a mastermind, you can accomplish in 1 year what one person would take in 10 years. And they call it the third mind. That's why they call it a mastermind. When you get more than 2 people together and you start collaborating, it opens up like an extra mind. I know it might sound weird, but that's his analogy. And so that's your mastermind. That's a different mind, because now you're all working together in one common cause. You're solving problems. You're bringing up concerns, and you're bringing up great ideas. And the amount that you can accomplish is so much more when you've got one purpose of collaborating on one thing or several things. And I think about what we talked about and what we accomplished in that meeting in the 6 hours we were there, 5 hours we were there. I could never done in an all day all by myself.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you're bringing in this different mind power, and you're leaning on somebody else to be like, hey, I should ask this question and that question.
And then it sparks an idea. When they say something, you're like, oh, this is a good idea. Or, oh, I've just thought of that.
Yeah, if you're having to come up with the questions and the answers, I mean, it just becomes this repetitive motion, and then you get lost in thought, and then you get distracted. And it's like, no, let's focus on this one subject and, and get it solved. And bringing in all of those different perspectives are valuable because they're different perspectives. It's different approaches, and so I thought that was awesome.
Yeah,
and then, man, you dove into velocity banking.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun too.
Which, what a powerful strategy! And if you don't know what velocity banking is, I mean, a person really should dive into what the details are of how somebody can reduce debt. They can do it faster. They can, you know, make sense of what their current debt structure is, other tools and resources to be able to reduce that at a more rapid rate.
Pay their house off in 5 to 7 years.
Compared to 30.
Yeah, and all that interest. Whenever I've done the calculations, you take a mortgage out 30 years, you've paid more than double for that house. You buy it for a house for $200,000, and even at a 3% interest rate, by the time you're done with 3 years, you've paid $230,000 plus the $200,000 back. So by cutting that in 5 to 7 years, you'll save yourself easy $150,000 to $200,000 worth of interest, which is crazy.
Yeah,
but we sign up for it all the time.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
Yeah, that's great. So I want to challenge you, everybody that's listening to this today. If you have got an idea if you have got a thought that maybe you want to bring to fruition, maybe you've got a problem in your business or problem even in life or business or marriage or whatever it is, collaborate with somebody, start a mastermind. I do a mastermind every single week with a couple of business partners. Colter and I talk all the time. I love going to these other masterminds. It's so awesome on what it does for me creatively, what it does for me on thoughts that I'm coming up with, even in my own business, my own life. And my wife and I, once a week, we get together and have a mastermind about the family and about our businesses and about our goals. My wife was so dang excited about, because I came home and I'm like, we need to do a mastermind. We need to do vision boards. And so that sparked us meeting together every single week for just an hour. And I had her with the expo marker, drawing all sorts of stuff on the whiteboard in my office. She was so excited about just because it just gets so many creative juices flowing. So if you've never done one, come be a part of the next one we're going to do. Colter will get it out there on social media, and if you want to come to that one, or maybe you want to come to that one and do something else, get a hold of a couple people that you would consider a mentor, people that are someplace maybe you want to be, or just somebody that might have some great ideas, and meet with them and start going.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Collaborate with people that are like-minded. There are so many people out there that just want to accomplish something, big.
Yeah.
And they want to collaborate and they want to see other people succeed. Invite those people to the room, and even if it's 2, 3, 5 people, start somewhere and collaborate and talk to people that can help you reach your goals. Because doing it alone isn't as much fun.
No, and then make it consistent, whether it's once a month, every quarter, every week, whatever it is, because then you can give some assignments out, and then you come back, return a report, and then you mastermind even more. And it's amazing what somebody can accomplish.
Yeah, it really is.
Awesome. Well, I think that's it for, that time flies when we're having fun.
It really does.
Well, it's so awesome to hang out with you, Colter, and to talk again, so.
Well, let's find ways to collaborate, the two of us, but also with anybody else. We want to also put masterminds together where we can collaborate with people that are online, that aren't just right here in our area in Idaho, but be able to collaborate in a different, more powerful way.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.